Good morning and welcome along to the stabling block here at Chelmsford. Glorious morning, and it could be that a really quiet corner of Essex here has got a bit of a bearing on what goes on in Berkshire this week. We're just about at the eve of the royal meeting. I'm going to point out just there, could be a key runner in the Queen Mary. This is Bundchen, and you'll see the double W's. No prizes for guessing who we've come to see. We'll be speaking to Wesley Ward in due course. So to the Director of Racing here, Neil Graham. I want to give you a quick look, though, before she exercises this filly here. This is Twilight Gleaming. She's been to Royal Ascot a couple of years ago. She's back with unfinished business this year. She might be a player in one of the feature races on day one of the Royal Meeting, the King's Stand. So very much looking forward to bringing you updates here from Chelmsford as to the well-being on some significant players for that man, Wesley Ward, at Royal Ascot this week. Delighted to be joined by the man to my left, Wes Ward, who's just seen two two-year-old colts strut their stuff out on the turf course here, Fandom and American Rascal. We got coming back again?
Yeah, they're coming back right now. Maybe you're swinging over and see them there. This is Fandom here in front, coming at us. He's galloped now. They're gonna both gallop, finish up galloping about 1.5 miles.
Okay.
And he's having a beautiful gallop, as you can see in front there. And the guy behind us here, this is American Rascal.
And he is bound for the Norfolk.
Yeah, and he's out of Lady Aurelia, a two-time Royal Ascot winner for us here.
He's bred in the purple by curling out of Lady Aurelia. So there's obviously a real amount of excitement after what he did on debut. Did that leave you with your pulse really quickened what he did?
I left everyone in America, knowing where we're going to go, and everyone in America that is enamored by Royal Ascot focuses on a horse like this, and it's growing and growing. The attention to come over, as you can see, by more American participants coming over, and more of the owners wanting to come to be involved in this special meeting.
Just by way of a Norfolk horse, and thinking of the horses you've won it with, I'm thinking a decade ago with the brilliant No Nay Never. Is there early stage comparisons at all with those horses at this stage with this fella?
I would say for sure. He's, like you just said, he's bred in the purple out of Lady Aurelia, and curling should get him a little bit more distance. If you look at him, though, he looks like an American running back football player. I mean, he's just a real compact guy, but yet the sire will bring out a little bit more distance in him, and really excited for this colt, especially after his debut.
What's his character like?
He's like a young emerging kid. When you bring him out of the stalls, he's bucks and kicks, but the thing about him is he's very professional. Once the rider gets on, he's just all business, is what I like. None of those antics when the rider gets up.
So come the big day, and there will be, you don't need to be told just how many people they'll be bearing down on him at Royal Ascot. It should be all okay for him.
I would say absolutely that won't phase his mind. He's just a really good feeling horse, but with no nervousness or any qualities like that.
And I've just, given the time you've been there now, 2009, the first of them, we go through Lady Aurelia, the 2 years, the Queen Mary and the King's Stand. Now to bring one, as you were saying, out of Lady Aurelia, it's almost creating your own Royal Ascot legacy.
There you go. It's it just makes it more special. I'll tell you that. When you have one, she's the most accomplished that I've ever brought here. In a two-time winner, and then to have her first foal come out to be, with such excitement and hopefulness, going into a race like this is wonderful.
I know we're going to be speaking to you throughout the morning, and I know you want to go and see the colts in a few moments. A line on Fandom as well?
Fandom, as you can see, he's training great. He's been working with this guy. If I wouldn't have, you really couldn't tell. I have my best rider usually on this guy here. On American Rascal in the morning in our workouts, and so he can kind of get him to switch off. But really, to look at the two of them, he's very, very highly competitive colt. So we're excited to make sure he gets out of here.
Let you do that. Back here joining Wesley Ward for a second time at Chelmsford, just after the track work. They've come back to the stables. We've seen the colts. We've now seen the fillies. Wesley, I just wanted to talk about Twilight Gleaming. We saw her here a couple of years ago as a 2-year-old. What should Royal Ascot fans expect of her as a 4-year-old?
She's in great form. She's had 10 starts, 6 wins, so she knows how to win. She's coming off a very, very good win at Keeneland at her home track. which set her up perfectly for this race. You know, this being the toughest sprint in probably the world. You know, the King's Stand, 5 furlongs, but she's certainly a 5 furlong specialist, and she's coming ready to go.
She takes in, if I'm not mistaken, the same route that Lady Aurelia, the Giant's Causeway, took in en route to her winning the King's Stand.
Yeah, it's our home track, and it sets up, you know, timing-wise perfect, gives us ample time from the race, getting them ready for that race, and hopefully running as well as she did, you know, each and every year, coming into Ascot, and it gives us plenty of time to get ready for the King's Stand, and she's doing great. I'm real happy with her.
And it would be, I asked you about comparisons to the 2-year-olds, and it would be unfair, I guess, in ways to compare to Lady Aurelia, given her brilliance. Is there a similarity or two, given the fact that they're both very good sprinters?
Well, Lady Aurelia, you know, she's one of the best of all time, so you certainly couldn't compare the two of them as far as you know what the two have achieved. You know, she's certainly a win machine and winning 6 wins and 10 starts, and you know, she's a trier too. She wants to get out there and win, and loves racing, and she's a very happy horse. She travels no problem. And at 2 years old, she shipped back and forth from America twice, second here in the Queen Mary, and then she won a listed race with Frankie over in Deauville. And she's also a Breeders' Cup winner.
A hell of a record. We'll see what she can do on Tuesday. Bundchen, the 2-year-old, for the Queen Mary, which is a race since you first won it in 2009 with Jealous Again. It's just been year after year, hasn't it?
Yeah, that's a race I'm most successful in. We've had quite a few winners in that race, and this is a impeccably bred filly, being by Gunrunner, one of our top sires in America. She's going to go on a little further, it looks like, and, you know, just watching her train throughout the spring here, it looks like she's going to want to, you know, stretch out at least to a mile. But this is a really good starting point. She had a very good race in her first race, maiden, albeit on the dirt. The race was taken off the grass because of rain that day, and so she ran on a surface that she wouldn't have preferred. We identified her surface as grass early on that she would really like to run on the most. But she's, you know, since the race, she's had 3 really eye-opening breezes at Keeneland, and we're really looking forward to this race.
We were just talking about the relative ages of your children now, 14 years after that first year with Jealous Again and Strike the Tiger, and I guess to them this is, Royal Ascot's just been such a big part of their lives, hasn't it?
It really has. They've made so many great friends in coming over here each and every year. They met a lot of wonderful people, a lot of kids that they've met, you know, going to the races. They come over and stay with us in the wintertime in Miami, and as well as when we're here, they all get together, and it's been a, you know, changed all of my life and theirs as well.
How have you developed your own personal relationship with Royal Ascot over the near decade and a half that it has been?
You know, it's been a wonderful place. Everybody's, you know, just kind of welcomed me, and each and every year it's new horses and you know, new high expectations, and with that comes, you know, disappointments as well. But you know, going into it, I'm a very positive guy, always been. So you know, you're thinking obviously you're coming over and you're going to be successful, and sometimes you are, and sometimes you aren't.
I know a lot stays the same, but I know that you've been on record over the years saying your affection that you have for the late Her Majesty the Queen, who this will be the first year without her, and I know that you had some really strong days with her, didn't you?
Yes, I have. All of my children have met her. You know, we've got to sit and talk with her in the box, in the royal box. I spent a couple different times. I've been called up and had conversations with her, just her and I, for 30 minutes watching a race. And those are just indelible memories that I'll never forget, as well as my kids. You know, they got on their computers, when you open up the computer, you can tell, you know, that's what they have. They have sitting on the podium when we won the Jubilee with undrafted, and her presenting us the trophy. It's just something that they'll never forget.
I'll leave it with this. 12 winners at Royal Ascot since 2009. You've got 4 horses here conditioned at Chelmsford in the week before the big meeting. If you were just to point us in the direction of the one that is really the strongest or likeliest chance for 13th winner and beyond, maybe, which one would it be?
I'd say we're saving our best for last, and that's American Rascal right here. He's, you know, out of Lady Aurelia, a 2-time Royal Ascot winner, a Group 1 winner here, and, you know, by champion sire in Curlin. He's trained quite forward since his, you know, powerful victory that he had when he won his maiden at Keeneland, And everybody in America is waiting. That's watching Royal Ascot is waiting to watch this guy from America, because it's certainly my best chance.
We wish you the best of luck. Thank you very much, Wes.
Thank you very much.